God. This year was a toughie. It's hard to process because this year was hard for a lot of reasons. And I like to think about Halloween, Samhain, as the end of one year. Like I like to look at November and December as kind of like an in-between space where, you know, it's the end of the year on one calendar, but kind of the beginning of the year on the Wiccan calendar. So in my head, it becomes November and December as this sort of liminal space. And I kind of try to take those 2 months, obviously, to celebrate the holidays with my family, but also kind of as a relaxer. I suffer really badly from seasonal depression in the winter, so November and December are kind of me easing into that and not getting over it, but you know, letting my body hibernate, I guess. I try to do things that make me feel more comfortable, more relaxed. I cook soup, I wear comfy sweaters, I read autumnal books. I guess I try to close out Octobers as though it's the end of the year and it's sweet and comfortable, and you know, I try to have fun. We went to the Ren Fair, we went to fall festivals, we carved pumpkins, like trying to put some joy into the end of the year and into my life, specifically this year. It's not that this year was only bad, because a lot of very good things happened. We renovated another space in our house. We sanded the floors, which was very high stress. We'd never done it before, but it was actually also very fun, and it turned out beautiful. Our house is becoming what we dreamed our house would be, and I feel so grateful to be able to slowly but surely collect things that make us feel at home. For the light of a foreign sky, applying to the forces above this life. Above us, like holding on to this present time, inspired by the ones that were left behind us. We fell for the light of a foreign sky, flying to the forces above this life. Trying so much to come together, to hold on the love, but it's lost in this time. So much for the light from a foreign sky, flying to the forces above us. Keep holding on to this present time, inspired by the ones that were left behind us. We fell for the light of a foreign sky. But a lot of the sadness that came from this year was because of my job. And I ended up in February having to leave a job that I fully had intended to stay in for the rest of my life. A field that I truly, truly love and really felt for and felt like a calling to and all of that. And I was pushed out of this job after 3 years of working there because my boss
was a bully, and was a bully specifically toward me. I mean, toward other people as well, but there was definitely a push against me. And I think it's taken me a long time to process it. I mean, I'm still processing it, but I didn't realize, you know, when I got the nerve to switch jobs and when I started, you know, working at my new job, and it's been good, and I got a pay raise, and it's been nice in a lot of ways. I feel much more comfortable financially than I did. Like, for the first time in my life, like my adult life, I feel financially comfortable. I feel like I can contribute and help and save. I can actually save for the things that my partner and I want, which is so good. But it's really hard to leave a place that you loved because somebody else like took it from you, if that makes sense. Like, I think that we are under this impression that if you work really hard and you do your due diligence and you're a good employee, you're a proud employee, like you add creative things, you push the envelope, you try to keep moving forward, then people will like you or people will like that. And I discovered that people don't always like that. People don't always like new ideas. People don't always like questions. People don't always like people who want to push the status quo or even want to do something beneficial for the system. Essentially, I learned that work has a lot of politics, and that people still behave like it's high school, that people still behave like, you know, it's either you're my friend or you're not, and if you're not my friend, I'm not going to help you, sort of things. Like, people still throw other people under the bus. People still essentially act like children, and then and that doesn't always mean that somebody who works hard and really cares ends up on top. It was hard for me to continue making videos because honestly it was kind of hard for me to do anything. This year kind of became like bare bones Alex, if that makes sense. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I did everything that kept me going, but inside I was still trying to evaluate what had happened to me and how that was going to affect me in the future. I think, you know, like, I grew up in an abusive household, so this isn't like the first fucked up relationship I've ever had, but I assumed that, you know, I had survived my childhood, and I came out okay on the other side, and I kind of stupidly assumed that that meant that I could face whatever I needed to face. And to find out that people could still make me feel that way, could really behave the way my dad behaved and not get in trouble for it, and, you know, continue to work there and still continue to work there, that somehow I would get thrown under the bus for calling somebody out rather than the person who's being called out. Like, all this shit is naive, but also, you know, this was my first, like, full-time career. I guess this year has been a year of development internally. And I hate that it comes on the tails of abuse. I really have to think about the idea that every time I really have to think about the fact that, you know, not only my dad is going to say certain things to me, and I think like that's where it's fucked up too, because, you know, my boss can literally trigger me, and somehow I'm in the wrong. Somehow what she said is okay. Like it's once again emphasizing the same thing that was emphasized when I was a child, in the fact that there is no help for you. You're stuck with this. Get over it. That's what I felt. I spoke with HR on multiple occasions, and it just never went anywhere. There was just a consistent backing of somebody who was really targeting me. And so leaving was a good thing, but I also hated and still hate that I had to leave a place that I really loved working at and work that I really loved doing. That my boss could take that away from me and essentially continue to live the way that she's living is pretty shitty. So I tried to let myself rest this October.
One, go! Go, go, go,
No.
Yes, Mom! Go off, Mama!
I can't get off now. It is very fun.
Anyway, if you're in the same boat, you're not a bad worker. If you're in the same boat, it's okay to feel like shit. If you're in the same boat, I hope you're doing well. I wish that I could like live in a lighthouse. I wish that all the jobs that just required being alone and minding something weren't like gone. I wish that I could, literally, I wish that I could live in a lighthouse and mind the lighthouse and just be alone with my person. And my cat. I wish that not everything had to be social or data entry or, you know, whatever. I wish that there was like actually a diversity in jobs. Because at the end of the day, I feel like it's all just like people working, and I just want to make beautiful things and be left alone. I really, really, really this year just felt like I just wanted to be left alone.